If you live in the Charlotte area, you need to know about the referendum that's going to be on the ballot this November. We have the opportunity to increase our sales tax by 1 cent in order to fund the next 30 years of public transportation in the area. So let's talk about it. My name is Charles, and this is Charlotte Costs. So right now, the sales tax in the Charlotte area is 7.25%. And if the referendum passes, that would go up to 8.25%. So an extra penny for every dollar that you spend. Now, it's important to note that most essentials aren't going to be taxed as part of this referendum. So things like housing, cars, gas, prescriptions, medical services, none of that counts. Most groceries are exempt too, but things like candy and soda are not exempt, and neither are restaurants. So how would this actually hit your wallet? The average household in Mecklenburg County, where Charlotte is, makes about $75,000 a year, and they would be expected to spend an extra $240 a year on this sales tax. Lower income families, which are like $50,000 or less, would probably end up spending an additional $130 a year, and higher income families looking at closer to $280 to $300 a year because of the tax. Now, what that adds up to for the county to spend on public transportation is about $19 billion over the course of 30 years. It's really important to note that there are federal grants available that could bring that up to $25 billion, and you only qualify for federal grants if you have a local source of funding. So that's a really big deal as well. Another important note is that because this is a sales tax as opposed to a property tax at the local level, those are kind of your two options. Visitors and tourists would be subject to this tax as well, which means an estimated 17% of the revenue that would go to public transit under this plan would come from people who don't live there. You may have seen the report a few weeks ago that said that there's an average of 157 people moving to the Charlotte area every single day. And that's pretty great because it means our community is thriving and growing, but it also means that our roads are congested and our current public transit system is simply not set up to handle that. Now, there are a lot of people who really oppose this tax. It's no secret that things are already incredibly expensive, and many people feel like what we'd be getting isn't worth what we'd have to spend. Now, on the other hand, a lot of people are saying that if we don't do this, then our public transit system might collapse and you just get even worse and worse congestion on our roads. Another really important thing to note is that local governments in North Carolina don't have the authority to just place something on the ballot like this by themselves. We need approval from the state legislature. This has been in the work for years and years, and if we don't pass it, we probably won't get another chance for a long time. So if you live in the Charlotte area, it's a really big decision to make this November. Should we or should we not raise the sales tax to pay for the future of transportation in the area? And if you need some help with making that decision, drop a comment if you have questions, or go ahead and give the Cardinal and Pine a follow. And I'll be making a few more videos about how that money is going to be spent on buses, light rail, something called microtransit, which is like miniature Uber for specific regions for its flat $1.25 rate. Kind of cool. And I'll see you next time on Charlotte Costs.